And here we're having our Saturday school episode. And for today's lesson or discussion, community class discussion, I wanted to talk about stereotypes. So first and foremost, what is a stereotype? A stereotype is a distorted perception of someone, and this is a fixed perception. For example, you have stereotypes about all different kinds of peoples: men, women, children, adults, grandmas, Hispanics, Asians, Black Americans, white Americans. You have different stereotypes about different groups or classes of individuals. However, because you're on Ebony's Restoration's channel, we're going to be talking about the African American point of view and perspective. So there are generally 4 stereotypes about black females, and these stereotypes are negative. And just to put this out there are positive and negative stereotypes. Just because someone says stereotype doesn't always mean it's negative. That's your perception of it. Because, for example, stereotypes about Asians. A stereotype is that they are smart, they always excel, and they're always in business for themselves, either doing nails or selling Chinese food. Those are stereotypes. And those are positive stereotypes. Why? Because you're talking about someone excelling academically or someone being an entrepreneur and doing well in a particular business. However, the stereotypes that we're going to be discussing today for black females is going to be negative stereotypes about black women that I believe we should be aware of, number 1. And number 2, be conscious in all our actions to try to combat and not do things or do actions or engage in activity that's going to reinforce those 4 negative stereotypes of black females so that we can uplift our community. So the first stereotype is the mammy stereotype. You have the Aunt Jemima, started back in slavery that time, and you have the Aunt Jemima syrup, and basically the root of that stereotype is that you have this unattractive woman. Normally she's aged, she's older, and she is a hard worker. Not a hard worker entrepreneurship wise, but hard worker doing domestic work for someone else. She's always an employee. She's never a business person that owns her own business. She's never a businesswoman. And so that stereotype is negative because it doesn't shed light on the beauty that's in the black community, or specifically in the black woman. And it also doesn't shed light that we can do other things. We're not just going to be good domestics. We're not just going to be good at cooking, cleaning, taking care of things around the house. We're also good at starting businesses. We're also good at teaching. We're also good at math, science, engineering. We're also good at all those things. And the second stereotype we're going to be addressing today is the one of the Sapphire, or in modern terms we have Shanae. So if you all have watched the Martin shows, then y'all would know who Shanae is. But generally that stereotype is aimed at the black woman being loud, aggressive, towards black men, always beating down black men and demasculating or emasculating black men. And that's not a good stereotype, or that is not a stereotype that we should play into or should co-sign or should reinforce, because it does not show the strength in black relationships. That you have a black woman, you have a black man, and that they can come together, unite, and be strong for each other to have a good, strong family structure and to further themselves within society. The third stereotype we're going to be talking about is the one of the Jezebel. And that one is a stereotype that reinforces the hoe, the tramp, the slut, that they want to perceive is the black woman. And that, I should say, that goes without question to say that we should not want to reinforce that stereotype, because we're not hoes, sluts, tramps. We're not those things, you know, because those things would get people to believe that you don't have standards, you don't have morals, you don't have goals and aspirations for yourself, and that the only thing that you are good for is laying on your back and opening your legs to engage in a sexual act. And that is not true. Like I said, we have more things going for us as black women than the stereotype of the the Jezebel would have people believe. And that stereotype also says that, or wants people to believe that we are just sex crazed and sex driven people, and that's not true. Because like 9 times out of 10, we are working individuals. We do not have time to be prostituting ourselves, selling ourselves for money. We do not have time to be walking around just advertising money. That's not the case. Sometimes some individuals, they are naturally shaped, you know, differently than other individuals, and you shouldn't take their natural body structure as an invitation for sex, or think that they are trying to, you know, advertise that sex is for sale. No, that's not the case. Some people just have very strong self-confidence within themselves and want to be proud of what they were naturally born with. And the last stereotype is that of the baby mom, or the quote-unquote gold digger. And this distorted perception wants you to believe that all black women are just out for someone's money. The only reason why they're in a relationship with you is because you are at a higher economic status than they are, and that they only want you to have the money that you're bringing in from your hard work. And that these individuals are not going to be working to get their own financial success and freedom, but they're going to be sitting down at home waiting for a check to come to their mailbox. And that image is really not true. You have students that are not only in college full-time, but they also work full-time, and they have a family to take care of, whether it's their children or their parents that they have to take care of. And it doesn't really shed light on the goals and aspirations and dreams that black women have for themselves. We are so much more than money. We are, yeah, I understand we live in a capitalistic society, and yes, everything is being changed. You know, goods are for sale for money. However, that does not have to be the perception of what relationships are founded on. It's not founded on how much money you have. That should not be the basis, the structure, the foundation of any relationship. And this stereotype of the gold digger and of the baby mom says that that is the only reason why a woman is going to be in a relationship with you, or that is the only drive that a female has. And like I said, that is simply not true. The black woman especially is driven to do greater and bigger things than to sit at home with a bunch of kids, or rather to want to be with you only because you're successful in business or you're successful doing a sport. And the fact that a lot of successful men actually are on the lookout or on the defensive end from women like this, it's quite interesting, because it makes you want to question them. Why do you think that women are, not only women, but black women especially, are only out with you because of what you're bringing into your bank account? And then in the same breath, this stereotype is not applied to other women from different racial and ethnic backgrounds, when in actuality they may be the ones that are more into your money than the black woman is probably. So, like I said, those are the 4 main stereotypes. The distorted, negative, ingrained, fixed image that is on the black woman. And I think as a black woman, we all should be actively in every facet of our life, every activity, event, or function that we go to, or any opportunity that it presents itself, we should be working to alter this stereotype, this negative stereotype, because as I mentioned, there are 2 forms of stereotypes. You have positive stereotypes and you have negative stereotypes. And I really would like for us to work in a direction where the stereotype that black women have is a positive stereotype. For example, a stereotype of the Michelle Obama, the Condoleezza Rice, the Beyonce, the Mary McLeod Bethune, the Oprah Winfrey, those stereotypes of strong, independent, black women that are doing things on their own, making their own path in history. We should be striving to counteract these negative stereotypes with those stereotypes. So every time someone comes into a situation where they have the preconceived notion that this person is going to be representative of either the Aunt Jemima, the Shanae, the Jezebel, or the gold digger type stereotype, you are the one that shows them that, hold on, not every black woman is in this category. And hopefully one day it will be a sense of not any black woman falls in these 4 categories. So please leave any other stereotypes that you've heard or thought or anything about black women down in the comment section. And thanks again for tuning into the February 1st, 2014 Saturday school session of Ebony Restoration, which we talked about stereotypes. Have a good one. Peace, love, and unity.